He left his country, his father, and a stable life, all for the sake of a single dream. He lived in 7 different countries before he figured out who he really was. He went through failures, chance encounters, and relationships that the entire Turkish entertainment industry still talks about to this day. They call him the Eastern Prince of Turkish cinema. But what lies behind that title is a completely different story. To some, it will seem sad, others will start to hate him, and still others will, on the contrary, love him even more. But there is one moment in his life that he never talks about publicly. We'll get to it. Today we're figuring out who Kerem Bürsin really is, and what actually happened behind the scenes. Istanbul, 1987. A son was born into the family of successful businessman Ibrahim Pamir. It seemed like stability, money, and a secure future. An older sister, Melis, loving parents, his father's international business. Everything for a happy childhood. But before Kerem could take his first steps, the family was already packing their bags. Scotland, then Indonesia, where he lived until he was 5. Then the UAE, Malaysia, and back to Turkey. His father ran an international business, and the family followed him. Other children his age knew every corner of their yard, every neighbor, every dog on the street. Kerem knew only one thing: nothing is permanent. No sooner had he gotten used to a place than it was time to move again. And instead of breaking down, he learned to open himself up to new experiences. Kerem himself later said that it was precisely these constant moves that shaped his character. Respect for other cultures, an interest in people, the ability to adapt quickly, all of that came from there. When he turned 10, the family finally settled down in Texas. It was there that his first real passion emerged: movies. And then a rock band with his classmates. The boy who had always felt like an outsider found himself in creativity. But a choice lay ahead of him. And the person who complicated that choice was his own father. After high school, Kerem enrolled in an acting program in Boston at Emerson College. His father was categorically against it. He wanted to see his son as a successful marketer, with a profession, connections, and a stable future. Not an actor. To avoid upsetting his father, Kerem compromised. He transferred to a marketing program at a university in Los Angeles. He studied. He tried hard. But thoughts of the big screen never left him for a single day. He understood that his father's education and connections would guarantee a comfortable life. But his heart wasn't in it. At some point, he made a decision. He dropped out of marketing. He chose film. His mother supported him. His father did not. And it was precisely this decision that set off a chain of events that changed everything. Los Angeles, the city of dreams for millions. But for Kerem, it meant rented apartments, an empty fridge, and 0 connections. He found 2 acting coaches. One of them was Eric Morris, the man who had launched the careers of Jack Nicholson and Arnold Schwarzenegger. It sounded like a ticket to Hollywood, but the reality was different. He had no money. He didn't ask his father, on principle. Classes during the day, work at night, waiter, security guard, driver. Not because he wanted to, because there was no other way to survive. But he believed that the difficulties you overcome on your own make you stronger. And then one day, he was noticed by a man he never expected to meet. Roger Corman, a master of horror, winner of several Oscars, a man who can spot talent where others walk right past it. He invited Kerem to an audition. Kerem later said it was the most nerve-wracking day of his life. He stood in front of the camera, opened his mouth, and the lines just vanished from his head. Silence. A total failure, as he himself concluded. But a few days later, the phone rang. He was offered a role. A small one, a former soldier in the 2006 film Thursday. But it was a start. After that, he began going to auditions regularly. There were roles, but always in the background, always somewhere on the edge of the frame. And there was another Chinese film, Shark Lizard. Kerem himself called it the most absurd script he had ever read in his life. Hollywood wouldn't let him go, but it didn't fully accept him either, because the same thing happened every time at auditions. As soon as he mentioned that he grew up in America, interest faded. In Los Angeles, Talented and handsome actors are everywhere. They needed something unique. And his unique trait, his Turkish roots, was somehow seen as a drawback. He spoke openly about it himself. "My biggest dream is to become a Turkish actor in Hollywood. But in Hollywood, I was always just another guy." Hollywood never became his home, but home found him, completely by chance. 2012, his cousin invited him to a wedding. No plans, no expectations, just a family gathering. Kerem attended as a guest, and that's where everything changed. At the wedding, he happened to meet Gay Semkin. She recommended him to a casting agency. Without that meeting, without that wedding, perhaps nothing would have happened. The entire career that millions know began with a single chance conversation. He was invited to audition for the series Waiting for the Sun. He got the part. The series premiered in July 2013. The cast included Emre Kune, Hande Erçel, and Yağmur Tanrısesin. From that moment on, his popularity began to skyrocket. He immersed himself so completely in the role and was so charismatic and captivating that offers poured in one after another. 2014 was a truly explosive year. The film Whisper If I Forget, directed by Kagan Yermak, received positive reviews. In the series A Matter of Honor, his character Yiğit Kiliç left no viewer indifferent. After its release, they recorded a separate music video for the soundtrack. In April, the series I'll Give My Life premiered, starring Burak Özçivit, an action film about two best friends featuring fights, stunts, and action. And at the same time, brands. Turkcell, Mavi, Nike. In 2017, he became the face of Garanti Bank. A year later, he starred in a commercial alongside Barış Arduç, who had previously represented the bank. Then came H&M. In 2018, he flew to Moscow as a special guest for the FIFA World Cup. He attended a match and met with fans. And in the summer of 2020, a series came out that changed everything for good. Knock on My Door, on Fox. Kerem plays Serkan, a successful businessman. Tough, closed off, and a non-believer in love. A girl bursts into his life, and everything goes haywire. His co-star was Hande Erçel. His career took off. Brands, TV series, millions of fans. But his personal life was much more complicated. Kerem has always carefully guarded his personal life. He's tight-lipped with journalists and says little about personal matters, but some details still leaked out. He's 179 centimeters tall and weighs 75 kilograms, tall, athletic, and a real head-turner. Women always took notice of him, but he himself admitted in interviews that falling in love had never been easy for him. At the same time, he treated women with respect. Everyone who knew him noted this. After moving to Turkey, he began a romance with a colleague from his first TV series, Yağmur Tanrısesin. The relationship lasted a year. Then they broke up. Kerem himself didn't explain the reason publicly, but his friends said otherwise. Her temper turned out to be too explosive. Mood swings, tantrums, outbursts. He just got tired of it. But he didn't stay single for long. Since 2016, he's been in a new relationship. Serena Sarıkaya, an actress, model, and his co-star in the Mavi ad campaign. A beautiful couple that everyone noticed. After the breakup, Kerem himself admitted in an interview with Grazia magazine that it had been the longest and happiest relationship of his life, and that falling in love had always been difficult for him. But with her, it was different. There was even talk of a wedding. Supposedly, he was ready to propose. Fans were waiting for the announcement. But something went wrong. Serena insisted on a prenup. He didn't agree. Conflicts, disagreements, and arguments began, and the couple that seemed so perfect never made it to the registry office. They broke up. By November of that same year, he was spotted in Hollywood, in the company of young singer Melissa Schnellson, together in good spirits. The press immediately interpreted it all in their own way. And in January 2020, rumors began to spread about a romance with Demet Özdemir. Kerem didn't like this. At one point, he openly asked journalists to stop fabricating romances for him and spreading false information. But the press wouldn't let up, because then a story began that could no longer be kept quiet. 2021. Paparazzi began noticing something interesting. Kerem's car outside Hande Erçel's house early in the morning. His co-star from Knock on My Door. Once, a coincidence. Twice, already a story. 3 times, and every publication in the country is writing about it. They themselves remained silent for a long time, until spring, when they flew off to the Maldives together. After that, there was nothing left to hide. They were declared an official couple. A poll by the local show Second Page named them the second most stylish couple in the country. Fans were ecstatic. It seemed, here it is, the happy ending. But then came January 2022. Headlines about their breakup appeared everywhere. The alleged reason, his participation in a new project, also starring Demet Özdemir, whom the press had previously linked to Kerem. Jealousy, mistrust, scandal. Both remained silent. In March, Kerem's representative officially announced that he was single. But then there were rumors of a reconciliation again, then rumors of a breakup again. The press wrote one thing, then another, and no one knew the truth. On his 35th birthday in June, Kerem wrote that he would celebrate with his dog. But the photos on his blog told a different story. Friends and loved ones were there. He certainly didn't look lonely. In the fall, the tabloids were writing about a reunion again. They were spotted together at a cafe. Kerem's personal driver was seen at her house. Fans hoped they had never actually broken up. And this is where things get really interesting. While the whole internet was debating whether he and Hande had broken up or not, she was already dating someone else, Hakan Sabancı, heir to one of Turkey's wealthiest families. They've been an official couple since March 2023, and Kerem didn't stay single for long. May 2024, a private party in Istanbul. He meets Melisa Sabancı Tapan. Wait, Sabancı? Yes, you heard that right. The granddaughter of that very same Sakıp Sabancı, a relative of Hakan, Hande's boyfriend. Kerem's ex-girlfriend is dating a relative of his new girlfriend. The Turkish entertainment industry really is a small world. Kerem was so happy that he even confirmed the relationship himself in an interview. Melisa introduced him to her mom. Fans were already counting down the months until the wedding. But by the fall of 2025, it was over. They broke up. Officially because of their busy schedules. Unofficially, no one said anything. After that, the name Selin Yagcioglu, an influencer and digital creator, flew by. She appeared quietly, disappeared quietly. And now, he's single. Write which of his girlfriends you like the most. Today, he's at the top of his game. The series Çarpıntı on Star TV is a psychological drama, no light romance here. He's chosen the difficult path again, the new film Outside the Line. And here's an interesting detail. The screenplay is being written by the same woman who wrote Knock on My Door. That very story that made his name known to the whole world. And, most importantly, Hollywood. Sofia Stallone's company has reached out to his agency. The author of the bestseller Yours Truly publicly stated that the main character was inspired by Kerem. He's getting ready to fly to the US to meet with the producers. The boy who dreamed of becoming a Turkish actor in Hollywood, it seems he's finally making it. Remember that moment at the beginning when his father told him he was heading into the unknown? Years later, his father finally told him, "This is your life, your path. I'm proud of you." Maybe that's exactly what made him who he is. A man who knows how to head into the unknown and find everything there. Share your thoughts on him after watching the film.